might want to sort that out. Joking.
I'm like, wait a moment here. I think I need to elevate myself.
I think that part was yeah, man. That part wasn't recorded. I don't think we went live yet, but history will tell. So I think we're live. Do you want to jump on Facebook and see? Here we go. Carol's live. Carol's okay. I think we are live. I'm still trying to find out myself. Oh, I can see that. 4 people. So everybody, bear with us. We're using a bit of software I've never used before called StreamYard, which is pretty cool. So let's give it a little plug. So far, I'm happy with it. In which we can have multiple chats with people. And I'm just going to share this. Share to a page as we get a couple of people. Hey, Sal, can you see how many people are in here?
There are 5 comments so far. There's 13 now. Yeah. 13.
It's kind of cool, dude. 13. Yeah. So I need you to share this too, bro, on your Facebook. So if you can share the video on your feed. Hey, everybody. Share to a group. That's what I'm trying to do. So just bear with us. What we're having tonight, depending on where you are, is just a candid conversation with a good friend of mine. And we just want to chat about sort of where we are right now in our business. Hey, firstly, we got nothing else to do, right? So this is probably like more for us than anybody else. But we just wanted to use this opportunity to follow up where we were at Float Convention over 2 years ago now, where we had a wonderful day, went up the arch. And man, I was just amazed and inspired by you and your business. And I think I've shared this. So I thought, well, let's kind of share that with Facebook, right? And anybody who wants to see. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, for having me. Yeah, that was a fun time to float 2 years ago.
Remember doing the snow angels?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh man, it was like -20 or something else. Now, what was the temperature? Is about that?
I don't remember, but it was snowing. I remember that, and it was cold. Yeah. Like we had a couple of hours to spare before we were all heading off to the airports, and we decided to go downtown and go see the arch.
Literally, I saw you in the lobby, and we saw so many other people from Float walking around, being tourists for a couple of hours. No, great times. So look, just for all of you watching right now, this is completely unscripted. There's there's nothing we're trying to achieve or not achieve. It's just really a candid chat. Like one thing I want to find out a little bit more for me, and we thought we'll just record it, is a little bit more about Sparky's Balloons and Sal's business. He's got some like great little tips and tricks and ways that he runs his business. So why don't we, I guess, just start with you, Sal? Like, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into the industry, where you were born, do you enjoy short, long walks on the beach, all the big questions. Just start wherever you want to start.
Well, I'll start where it all started. And it all started actually 10 years ago. It was a dare. A friend of mine, I was in between contracts, and he had worked for one of the wholesalers here. He says, "Hey, Sal," he says, "I've got this great idea." He's like, I'm in the balloon industry, and I see a lot of people being very creative, and I don't see enough people here in San Francisco Bay Area to do this. He's like, "Why don't you want to give it a shot?" And I said, "You're crazy. I'm an IT guy. Why would I ever want to do this? My dad's going to call me a clown. Like, no way. I'm not going to do this." So time went on, and he's like, "Come on," and just kept on. And I was just waiting in between contracts, and I said, "Fine." So what we did was we put half the money in, and that Sunday was Valentine's Day. And so we rolled out my laundry carts. We rented a helium tank and inflated all the balloons. I went out to the corner, just probably about a block from here, and sold balloons from my laundry cart.
Laundry cart.
Literally a laundry cart. I just rolled it out there.
Like I love you for balloons, that kind of thing.
It was all. It was just there. I didn't know what to do. My friend sent me out there. He sent me there. He went back to the house. Came back, and I was already done with balloons. He says, "Where'd they all go?" I said, "I sold out. So you got to keep bringing them faster and faster." And and long story short, in 4 hours, we were able to quadruple our money. And I said,
Really? 4 hours?
Yeah. I said, "There's something into this." And he says, "Wait a moment. I don't know how you did this because I never gave you a price sheet. You never gave me time to go back and give you that. I said, well, it was pretty easy. I said, for the kids that came by, I charged them a lower price. For the nice cars, the convertibles, the Mercedes, whatever, I charged them a higher price, and they paid it.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
You bastard. Hey, by the way, sorry, I was knocking around you. I'm loving this.
So that's how it started.
Sorry, go on.
And from that year, I have a funny story. Here we started online.
Yeah.
So that's how I got involved with learning about the website and so forth.
So this is 9 years ago now, yeah?
10 years ago.
Yep. 10 years, okay.
Yeah.
Straight online, yep.
10 years ago. So my first year, we did everything from the house. And I'll never forget a contract for 1,000 balloon drop. And they're pretty small and they're pretty narrow. So I took it. I said, let's do this. Long story short, we blew up 1,000 balloons in my hallway that went from the beginning of the door all the way to the back. Okay, it was great. We filled it all up. We were ready to go. The problem here is, how do you get this big ass, excuse my language, but big balloon drop out of the smaller door, So it just,
dude,
oh my God,
you inflated 1,000 balloons in a net at home. So what did you do? What did you do?
At the door, it was insane. Oh, it gets better, Chris. It gets better. Yeah. So then we finally managed
wait.
to get
How far away?
Probably 20.
How far away are you meant to be going anyway here? Like, where's the?
Oh, so we were probably going about 3 miles from here, but no, it gets better. So we rented a big truck, but of course I was the money guy. I said, oh, we just need a 15-footer, no worries. Like, we're not gonna get the big one. Long story short, there was about 5 to 6 feet of balloon net sticking out of the rental van or truck, and I had a friend of mine holding it right there. I said, I'm gonna drive. You're gonna keep these doors open. Just please don't fall out of the car.
Oh my God!
And I'll tell you something. That client is still, 10 years later, they're still one of my clients.
Did I know this story?
Yeah, it's at a big theater here in San Francisco.
Yeah. Did you ever tell them the story as to how you did that?
No. Yeah. I showed up there. It was the funny thing was, 20% of the balloons were popped, right?
Yeah.
So we're in there, we're taking all this stuff out, and he's like, oh, he says, so what's going on? I said, don't worry about it. This happens all the time. I put extra balloons in here because of what happens.
Yeah. Count it.
Yeah.
I've had that happen before. I was driving in a van over what we call the Anzac Bridge, which is kind of like bigger than Sydney Harbour Bridge almost. And I was driving along, and we packed the van so hard that the side door didn't close properly. And all of a sudden, the door just opens as I'm driving down this like massive 6, 7, 8 lane bridge, and balloons just going everywhere, and cars are beeping, either lane, and it's like coming out of the side door. So I slammed on the brakes, and it's behind me. Slammed on the brakes, the side door like closed because there's a bit of room by then, and just kept on rolling. Got to the job. I probably only lost 40 balloons or so, but out of 300. That's one of those moments that hopefully the client isn't watching this. And what are you going to do? Mind you, we always have a spare tank in our car now with like spare balloons and stuff just in case. But man, we've all got some horror stories. In fact, let's try and think of the worst one. If that was not your worst, I'm interested in what is the worst one. But back to you, man. Let's just sort of rewind a little bit. So 10 years ago, you started online, right?
Yeah.
Because you got a retail store now. So run me through the quick sort of progression from there to the store.
Got it. So we went online for the first year, saved up our money, and then year 2, we bought a brick and mortar stand. I thought this was great. It was really nice. Year 3, I got really aggressive. I ended up buying a toy store. I bought another retail store. I want to say like 5 or 6 blocks, or 5 or 6 months into another area, and I was like, all right, total dominatrix. Like I'm gonna take this over, and it's gonna be what I want. Mm-hmm. Well. Long story short, it's like having kids, man. Three different places, managers, everybody. They each needed different things, and so you fix one, and you have to go back and fix the other one. And it was just ongoing. Like I got to the point where it was just I had to make a decision. Like it's like have these 3 rents, incomes, these 3 areas of all these employees, and go under. or consolidate. So that's what I did. I consolidated all into one, and that's when we were a balloon, a party supply. So I had Sparky. It was called Sparky's Fun and Joy at that time. Yeah. So that was it was
Fun and Joy.
You know, a big thing.
That business could be anything.
Oh yeah. So we did that, and then during our time right there, it was when we had a big Target that moved into the city, and so people were going there. It was probably about 5 blocks from where my store was. So my sales in the party supply were really tanking. And then we also saw like Amazon started increasing there and people buying stuff. And so the toys were getting hit. They would go in there and they'd price it, and then they'd go online and check to see what Amazon. So then there was a point where actually it was 3-4 years ago. I almost closed down. I was like, all right, it's costing me way too much. And then what we did is I said, you know what do I do best? What's the one thing that I enjoy, and why did I start this? And it was all about balloons. So we went back to the old school and just went completely on balloons. Actually, the funny story was I was out on a vacation and I came back, and my ex-husband just like put a whole band of Sparky's, closed for renovations. I came in and I was like so scared and panicked, like, what are you doing? We're gonna go under. He's like, come on, like we've got to shut this down. We've got to change the whole model, and we've got to do what you do best, and let's get into balloons. Let's concentrate on that area, and that's what we did. So we improved the website. We totally just went to doing decor. We enhanced the experience by diversifying the space that we had. We tried an art gallery in the front, and we put Sparky's in the back. Funny story is this is where
art
Trump
gallery
was wanting his
really?
wall.
Dude, you've tried it all, man.
Build that wall.
Yeah.
That was the funny story between Mike and I. I was like, Spawn, you put me in the back, So then what happened with Sparky's, we did it so well that we ended up, within probably like 4 or 5 months, we outgrew the back and we just took over the whole place. So it became our workshop now. We stopped taking clients coming into the store, and it's all pushed online. It's all pushed to the website. That was the best decision that I could have ever made, was to push everything online.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at that and show off some fancy tech. Oh, look at that. No one saw that coming. So, I've had a really good look at your website, and when we were climbing the arch, the St. Louis Arch, we spoke about your website a lot because my business is online, and it was really interesting to get your take on how you build it. And let me sort of click around here. You've got this like the balloon builder thing, right? So what that's the arches and columns, or how do we get into this again? Pick a design, featured designs. Talk me through it, bro.
Right there, like you can go on the arches right there. That would actually be a cool one to do.
Yeah.
So if they go to if you do the build archers,
build your balloon quad arch. All right. So where in IT did you work? What area back in the day?
I was in information security and disaster recovery. That was where my area was, a specialty was. Yeah.
But I can see you're like the crazy ideas guy in this industry, right? So talk us through it.
So what we did was we figured out a lot of clients were asking for arches, right? And they were asking for what type, which size and so forth. So we went through a whole use case and said, all right, the first thing we want them to do is, pick the size. So they went and picked the size. Then you get to pick the design. We showed them a couple of designs. They picked the colors. Now, one thing we did is we limited them to 2 colors. Yeah. If they wanted something special, they could call and they could put it into the comments. But this seemed to be our standard type of customer that only wanted that many things. We asked about it when it was indoors or outdoors, because what we needed to find out is if we were using the heavy bases or not.
More expensive.
Yeah. So then we give them a little example here and say, hey, this is what you selected. Do you agree? And they'd say yes, and then they'd click it and they'd add it into their cart.
That's cool. So essentially, like they're just different products here that have been sort of amalgamated as one, right?
Correct. So I saved them having to go and talk to somebody for so long. They could actually go out here And the beauty of this helped me with a lot of the fundraisers that were happening, right? The runs and so forth. Everybody always wants an arch, so they can come here. They knew the size, boom. They wanted to be fancy about it. They could pick a different style and choose their arch.
Yeah, cool. Now tell me, like, what else are you most proud about this while we look at your website here?
Well, so like you could actually, if you go down and scroll down to the right there, you can do the build your birthday. Yeah. So that's one of our popular ones that sells like quickly.
Is that helium or air?
What's that?
It's helium, right?
Just the top one. So that's where we reduce a lot of the cost here. Everything's air inflated, but the top mylar. And again, they get to select which one they want. This one's a little bit more complex in that they get to choose the topper, and we have different styles of toppers. They can pick their confetti. Two color. Again, we limit it to 2. Could it be more? Yeah, but then it just gets it was just harder to do.
This is really cool, dude.
Thanks,
it's really just sort of boom, 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 customize it, but based on a template that is easy to understand. And I haven't seen this. This is how candid this conversation is, people. But I had a good look at your website 2 years ago when I got home, because we've been rebuilding our website for about 78 years, and one day it'll be ready to go. But I'm really interested in seeing what people out there are doing in the industry. Cool.
Yeah, so actually, Chris, you talked about like the website, right? People are always talking about like building it and enhancing it, and it's gonna come. Well, I think right now is the perfect time where a lot of us. I think there's a lot of us in the industry right now that are with the uncertain times that are sitting there trying to figure out, what am I going to do during this time? Figure out the things that you've been wanting to do, and open them up and do that. And Chris, a great example is on my website. What I just did is I said, I went to Float, and there were some really awesome colors that are new from Qualitex, from Toughtex, from Vitalitex, and I did that. I went to my color chart and I updated it. I updated the sizing of the balloons, and then so people can see the size, they can see the colors, and on the offerings of each of those sizes. So again, simplifying it for the customer so that they're not going to ask me all the time, or actually not even me, but they're not going to ask my sales team about that. They're going to go and say, hey, I want a red 3-foot balloon because I know you guys have that. I know it comes in 3-foot and 16-inch and in 11-inch because I'll see it from the chart there.
What percentage of sales you get online, you think, versus your retail? And I guess it's a complicated thing because we've got over the phone, we've got emails, but if we just sort of cut out that other communication, we're just purely talking about walk in the door versus online automated sales. How could you divide that?
I would say about 20 to 25% of my business comes from the website. Yeah, and then the other bigger, I would say 50% of it is the custom designs, and then the other 20 to 20. Well, let's see, No, you know what? It's going to be more than that because the walk-ins is so limited. It's just probably about, I would say, 10 to 15%. We keep reducing that number because the walk-ins are only either people who remembered us from 10 years ago, and I'll always just have them come in. They ask for Sal. My employees know, but we do have we have a.
Did I ask for Sal or Salvadorable?
Salvadorable, that's right.
I love that. I only noticed that just like a minute ago, by the way, and I'm like, how am I going to throw this in here? I had no idea until a second ago. Well, you were talking, I couldn't interrupt. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. So that's the kind of the piece where it's reduced. We ideally we don't want any walk-ins, and there's a sign that says there no same-day orders, and everything's done online. Yeah, and people don't read it. They'll still walk in. They'll still try to do that. And we try to help as much as we can, but we also tell them that they have to get in line because people order weeks in advance for a lot of the stuff that we do.
Yeah. I had a customer in store once a while ago, and it was just me and another. We're on the phone as it was, and we're retail. And this woman came in, and I put the person on hold and apologized. I'm going to be just a few minutes. And then after like literally 2 minutes, she just said, should I just like go outside and call you? As in like, because I'm not instantly serving here. Oh man, I hate retail. Like we've had a retail store since 2003.
Yeah.
And man, it's tough. Retail is it's I'll still keep it for a bit, but I tell you, I think after this, here we are on the 25th, and I reckon in a couple of months' time, there's going to be a lot less retail. And so I'd encourage you all to go check out sparkysballoon.com. If you don't mind, Sal, just recommending people go and see how you're doing it. I was really impressed. Don't look at my website yet. It's like 6 years old. But we also have an online store where we sell gifts. And I tell you what, right now, so in Australia, we're a little bit different with the laws that's happening with the coronavirus around the world. In Australia, the government is actually, sort of encouraging businesses to transfer to more of a delivered business, less retail. We're calling it social distancing, which is 1.5 meters that they've advised that you shouldn't be next to somebody else, which really cuts out a huge amount of business. They've closed cafes, pubs, clubs, all that kind of stuff, hair salons, beauty parlors, all those places. So in a way, it's forcing us to close our retail side and focus online. And fortunately for us, we've always had that online presence. We've always worked on gifts. It used to be a lot bigger than what it is now, thanks to organics, which was, kind of stabbed us in the foot a little bit. We were just so all organics and we've lost focus a bit. But it's wonderful to see a couple of orders coming through, and that's growing even in this really uncertain time. I don't know if we'll be able to do deliveries forever. It might be next week they'll call it completely non-essential and just forget about trying to keep the economy on some sort of life support and just give up. And that's fair enough. We're totally willing to do that if that's what it takes. But I think, and I've been talking a long time here, sorry, but I think once we get through, the darkest hour of this distancing and isolation, we're going to come out of it still in with a lot of restrictions as far as people congregating, and I think events, unfortunately, are still going to be very difficult to be profitable from our industry. I'm talking months, like a couple of weeks, it's going to worsen, and then that we might see. Who knows? I'm no expert, but there will be a period of time where we're going to come out of this a little bit of restriction is going to be loosened, and gifts, I think, are going to be the thing that will keep our business alive for many, many months to come. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think so. While we've been shut down and we're not allowed to do any deliveries, that's the one thing that does keep occurring on my site is the website. The orders keep coming in, so I have to go back and tell them, hey, you know what? This is during the time frame after April 7th. I can go ahead and deliver. I said, but I can't do any of those until then. So that money, or that profit is still coming in through that. And then that's why I concentrated on the website during this time. I said, all right, I need to get ready and get out the door running. And what do I need to do is I need to enhance the website. I need to enhance the experience for these customers. So for example, the builders that you saw, all of those are going to change because those are going to have all of the new products with the new orbs that are in. They're going to have all of the new colors. Like if you go, Chris, to the color chart. So that's what I did last week. That was enhanced. And so this is how I showed people. So I started carrying the 24-inch and 17-inch, and showing them the different experience here and which ones come through.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So again, this stopped the user from coming to me and asking me about these. I just put it out there for them and say, hey, here's what it is.
Yeah,
one of the big things that people really enjoy is that chart right there, the sizing. That's the biggest thing that people come, how big is this? Well, it's 3 feet. Well, how big is 3 feet? So when you show them that information, then it's a lot easier to work with.
Cool, man. Great.
Yeah.
So can I just chat a little bit about the thing that took me the most about you and your business when we're in New Orleans, and this is what I said when I first said, hey man, let's have a chat if you don't mind, is the way you run your business. And I know people are out there hurting right now. Everything's changed completely, but I think if we can use this time to perhaps just find out a little bit about what you're doing, and they can apply that to their own business back home. And let's just chat about the way that you partition the roles and responsibilities of your team, and the fact that you've even got people working remote. I'll leave it to you. Tell us how when this all picks back up where it was, we'll push pause. I'm calling it, by the way, financial hibernation. Right, we're just sort of like a bear in the wintertime, right? Just rugged up. And we go back. So, what does Sparky's Balloons look like from an admin and a process perspective?
Got it. So what we did was, one of the big things I think as a small business is, right, you start out by being the designer, by answering the phones, by producing the work, by delivering, by installing. You do all of that. And then as your business grows, as your reputation increases, you start doing more and more of that, but you need other people. So one of the things that we did in this whole instance is that we saw that there were a lot of times where I was a bottleneck between these things, because I wanted to do everything. That I thought I was better at it than any of my employees. They would say differently. They would tell me never to write.
I'm just glad.
In the system.
I'm glad Helen's not on live right now. If anybody knows Helen, who works with me, she's my manager. She's my brain's trust, and she would be agreeing in all caps right now. Leave it to other people. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, and that's what I realized, and it took a while. It was really hard. I think a lot of it was the ego. Was like, no. If I don't do it this way, then it's going to be wrong. Well, I had to start letting go, because and until I let go and compartmentalized my business, I wasn't growing. I was actually I hit a wall, and from there, once I did this division, it just took me to a different level. So what I did is I actually have it in 5 areas. I have a sales team, and the sales team is completely off-site, not at the store. I don't want them there because I don't want them building or designing or installing or producing, nothing at all. Their job 100% is sales. Answer phones, answer emails. Take that away from anybody else. And they know, and they have the method on how to write all the orders in there. Everybody knows when I answer a phone call and when I put it in there, because it's completely different than the way everybody else should be putting it in there.
Can I add to that? And you know what I'm going to say. We spoke about this yesterday. So we have, and sorry, this is going to be a long interjection. All right. So everyone remember where Sal left off. Okay. So we have an employee review system. So back 2 weeks ago, we had about 12 staff. Okay, and we still technically have 12 staff. Let's not go there. But we have an employee review system, and this is something I'm willing to share later on, perhaps not in this chat, but I've used Google Forms to create a form that I fill in, that my manager fills in, and another random member of staff fills in, and it has a whole bunch of criteria based on segments, like how well they produce product, how well they can take orders, knowledge retention as far as our systems go, our products in different categories. It gives us the opportunity to, because it's multiple choice, to give a number based on the performance of my team. So when we have a review, it's not abstract. It's not like, where do you wish you will be in the future? And we notice you're doing well, but you can do better, or you know what I mean. So there's a number. Your number was 74, and that was 10 points above the last time we had the review. So with these sort of multiple choice questioning, and the reason for my interjection is where I got all the team to do a review on me, and I averaged the score, and I did okay on production and framing and all that kind of stuff. But we had this section for order entry, right? And being able to understand and like easily transferable knowledge within the way that we formulate our order for production purposes. And I got like a 1 out of 5. And because it's just like all this crazy, like do this and the colors and, organic 7-to-1 on the corner, like just weird stuff for me. But like you said, like, we're not, I think creatives generally are pretty chaotic, but when your business reaches a certain level, that's when it gets hard, because all of a sudden you have to create systems to support, more than just your own, manic thoughts. So it was funny. I took a lot out of that, actually. It was really important for me to be analyzed by my team and for them to do it in a way that, it was impartial, because it was hidden. There was no names associated with the forms. So it gave them the opportunity to speak their mind. Some were a little blunt. But I'd encourage, if you got a team, I'd encourage you, to have a formal system for a staff review system. It's a great opportunity for them to speak their mind, or it just creates a platform in which you can have a little bit more candid conversation and pick up on these little things. So if you see in this one whole field, I told you this would be a long. Sorry, man. But you got this one whole field, this area that need improvement. Now you can define that and work on it later. All right. So that was step one. All right.
Yeah. Well, I want to add on to what you just said,
yeah.
Chris, because that was interesting, because I went to Float this year, and I took Jonathan Gerber's class, and it was about building your business, and went in there, and at first I was like, oh, am I really going to learn something from it? And I said, notes out, just totally stay in this whole class and listen to this guy and see what he talks about. That was one of the things, is about listening to your employees and making sure you don't talk down to them, making sure that you listen and let them know that they had a voice. And I think that's something I took out of that course, because that's helped me, and that's how I'm able to tell them, if I answer the phone, that's not good. That means that either you're not doing your job, or we're super busy and I need to add another phone line and another salesperson to come in. So you guys tell me what to do in that instance. And so that's where I give them a little leeway, right? I say, all right, you know what, you guys are off-site, but you have a job to do. Answer the phones, answer emails. And when I do, it's not going to be good. And so that's our conversation when that happens. And again, Jonathan helped me with that when we were talking about it in this course. And I said, I need to figure out how to properly talk to somebody, and not to where they feel that they're talked down to, but I'm trying to explain. So then we went to, so that's the sales team. And that's where they're completely offsite again. I don't want them in production. I don't want them delivering. I don't want them to do anything else. But
in another city, right? Completely another city, isn't it?
Yeah, they originally, So originally they were in Seattle. Now I just moved them down to Texas. So lower wages there. So and it's all. Hey, cool. You got to watch the bottom line, right? That is their job, literally just to answer phones and emails. And they're 2 hours ahead, so they can answer it a lot earlier. So that was kind of the cool thing there. So then with that, we have designers, right? And so I'm the lead designer. I come in for the larger scale, but there are other small things that I don't want to do. That are, I don't want to say it's below me, but they're so standard that there's templates and there's ways that my other staff can do it. So then I have those designers that I would call them senior designers, or I wouldn't call a manager yet, like my role, and they handle the customers for a certain type of event. So specific themes, specific events that we know we have a standard cadence on what we do, they handle that. Specific type of organic, that's their job. They know all the different styles that we do, and they can go with formulas and create all that stuff and work with the sales team. Then we have the producers. So the producers, all their job is to get the job. They look at the daily list. They see what the job is. They have everything. All the balloons are pulled, because the designers will have pulled that, and the producers will then go and inflate. They have everything that they need to do to produce the items there. Then from there, they need to make sure that the delivery and installer people, that's the next group, are the ones that have everything that they need to go. So when they're going, they're checking down the list. Here's the delivery. Here's what's expected. Here's what the producers are giving me. And here's what they've delivered. I've got it. Both of them match. We're going out the door and going and delivering and installing. And lastly, on there, it's my logistics person. So I have somebody managing that whole piece of it, so that I can actually help and continue to grow the business and take it to that next level. Work on the website.
I was going to say, man, do you do anything in this business?
No, I still love to do the installs.
If I got to answer the phone, I'm pissed. if you get me packing balloons, you're not doing your job right. You're going to go to Texas as well. You hear me?
Exactly right. I'm sending you to Texas.
Yeah, no, okay. This is the part where you come in about what you do.
Yeah, and then what I do
puppet.
I know, yes. Well, the puppet piece is correct, because and why I say that, it's because I want to grow other leaders. I want to grow my business into something that's nationwide, and that's the concept of, and that's why I'm working on my website. Is the fact that I want to be able to sell the back end, not so much sell it, but to be able to work with other designers of like minds to say, hey, I've got this really cool piece in the back end. Let's work together. You're a great designer, and I got the business piece of it. Let's continue this, and let's continue a model and a brand throughout, so that when somebody says Sparky's Balloons, oh yeah, there's a Sparky's Balloons in Texas. Yes, there's somebody that has the back end, that they have the same experience of what I provide in San Francisco that will be provided over there in Texas. It's just a different designer.
Yeah. Big dream. How long have you had that vision for, bro?
About 2 years. Actually,
really?
It started when you and I were chatting.
Whoa.
That's where I wanted to go. And that's where the concept of the builders happened with the bouquet builders, and so I grew it into the orbs. There's a next phase. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate it with organic. So and then when I say organic, it's the easy, and I say easy. I mean, but it's like a frame, right? And it's a theme. So then you have there's the
standardized.
Yep.
It's cool.
And then they add on. So as soon as they add on the different pieces, then it shows them what those pieces look like into the builder.
Well, what we're doing in store right now is we've got this little photo wall section, and we use it for balloon bouquets. So it's got a curved, wall, so you don't see a 90-degree angle. And just by happenstance, one day we had some organics, just because it's also our storage area where we're working. This beautiful curve of the organics, and the way it curved, everything was white in the background. So we took a photo of that, and I've now got about 20 photos of different colors, tones, textures, combinations of organics in that exact same shape. So with the new website, when we launch that, customers can see suggested color combinations with the exact same organic texture in roughly the same spot, same shape, and we'll sort of break it down, to fit. So I think you need to start planning this stuff a long time in advance, don't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think that's the key to it, right? In order to be planning and preparing for your future, you have to delegate. I think that's a big hurdle for me to grow my business, was to be able to delegate these pieces. But after I did that, I want somebody else to do my work. I want to grow other leaders in the balloon industry and within Sparky's, to be able to provide for their families, to be able to finish college and use this as their next business venture or business. They're leaving San Francisco and they go out to Seattle or
I was digging into you, man. And one example though, just to support you there, is I, like in my business, I'm pretty much an employee. That's the way I look at it, right? We've got somebody who manages staff wages, staff rosters, including my roster. They tell me when I'm working, when I'm not working, right? Other people manage all the stock ordering. Most of my team do the quotes, invoicing, phones, all that kind of jazz, and production deliveries. We've got 2 vans on the road. So I come in sort of, a few days a week. But if someone's sick, or if it's busy, or something happens, then I can quickly activate, right? So I work on all the admin and the back of house stuff, new business and business developments, big quotes. It's funny, people say I do everything from like the biggest of installs to like cleaning the bathroom, But mind you, I got a cleaner, best thing I ever did. Oh my God, I might be cleaning the bathroom again in a couple of weeks, but long term we'll get a cleaner back. It's fine. But yeah, I think it's very important, and I'm very humbled with that as well. In that, if I want to have some time away from the business, I need a team that can run the business, right? So if I come in like a dictator and start pointing fingers and saying this is done wrong, it should be back to this way, and blah blah blah, and not congratulating and lifting my team on a pedestal with failure or not failure, right? I need them up there to work autonomously and positively, and know I've got their back no matter what. Because then, when I have some days off, if they don't have that position when I'm there, how do I expect them to have it when I'm away? So in a way, the shop runs without me, so I can jump on in as needed. So I feel it's very similar.
Oh yeah, Yeah, actually, and that's a good example about that feeling you can go away. And float was a perfect example. During
Mm,
that time, the 49ers made it to the Super Bowl. So the orders just started. I had
mm-hmm,
to let. I trust my staff to go ahead and take that. There, I'm going to be gone
mm-hmm.
for a week. I'm going to get there, and I'll be able to start on the
Yep.
orders and help them create. But the sales, the designs, it's
Mm,
their job. There are any questions, they can call
mm.
me. I'm here.
Yeah, yeah. Can I add one little thing? You mentioned earlier producers, designers, producers, and whatnot. I just recently
There we
this
go.
this is our Pinterest page, right? Produced by Chris Adamo, CBA. It sounds so silly, right? But I think at the same time, like customers love that. If they if you're not just a balloon employee who's there just delivering product, and you're something more, to call yourself a producer. And I love the words that you use there. Like, I think there's many businesses out there where people don't think themselves a designer or a producer, or an artist for that matter as well. So yeah, I love the wording that you used, and we're doing that too. Like our production, our director of production, or whatever. When you start using those terms and you put them on your card and your email signature, it just takes your business to the next level. So I've enjoyed doing that a little bit lately.
Totally agree with that. Yeah.
Now, man, I don't think we have any questions whatsoever. There's people watching, but they're just saying hi, which is fine. But man, I think I think we'll keep it not too long. So let's just talk about now. So what is it that you're doing in your business right now during these pretty uncertain times, and what can you also offer those that are watching and will watch as a couple of quick tips?
I think your unicorn box, and go into what you thought you wanted to do. I think, Chris, you said something that you said, oh, you have your website and you've been working on it for 6-7 years, right? Well, this is the time where we can go back into there and try to fix something. And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
did. I said, wow, I updated. So updated the site. So things that you think that you've wanted to do but never had
Mm-hmm.
time to do, now's the time. Carpe diem, seize it and
Mm-hmm.
get out there. Another thing, Chris, like I'm talking to everybody here because this is the Desolation Policy wasn't like really out there in their face to what it was. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the one thing. I almost lost a ton of money because people were wanting refunds. They weren't wanting just like credits or anything. And I would tell them, like, you can't cancel within a certain period of time, like that. We don't give refunds on that. And I
Mm-hmm.
had to explain, I had to show them where it was. So I went ahead and made sure now it's in my FAQs and it's right. There's a button right at the top. It's not hidden below anymore, and so forth. So that's something.
Yeah.
The other thing, be creative. Like, there's this funny thing of orbs. I'm going to show in the back. Let's see, right there. Like, I've just been playing with stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm embarrassed to take you to the other room, but I'll do it.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. I've already seen it. Show everyone else. Yeah.
All right. So let me just hold on. Oh, let me turn the light on. It's like one of those apocalypse rooms, and here it goes. Oh no!
You don't want to be alone with the lights off. Let's put it that way.
But yeah, here's the room with all the balloons.
So what's going on there? You brought a whole bunch of stuff from the shop, just to play around.
I just brought everything here, and I started playing with it. All these different colors. I've got my neons over here. Let's see, you can probably see them over there. Yeah, and then I just wanted to play balloons that I didn't get a chance to, and try different color combinations. Yeah, I have the time. Like, so that's what I'm doing, is playing, seeing what I like, what I dislike, and I reach out to some of you guys too. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And some people are like, oh, that's crap. I'm like, great, thank you. Or they're like, oh, it looks good, but you might want to adjust the size of this and so forth. So so that's been really cool to work with other designers. I mean, there's a lot of room for all of us out there. And one thing I learned when I go to these conventions like Float and the World Balloon Convention is that your network, man. It's there. I mean, Chris, that's how you and I met, and from there we just continued to expand that network of other designers.
There's Anna in the background, everybody. Justin.
If somebody starts moving in the background, it would be Mr. Qualitex.
Yeah. Hey, well, on that note as well, let's do a plug for something that I'm going to be at in a couple of days. So the Q Corner convention. So we're talking about what you can do, some ideas to build your business. Like I'll be having a chat actually with Stuart Davies and David Mahoney. I don't know if the full program is online just yet. Oh, here we go. So you can have a little look. Boom. Look at all this stuff. 24 hours a day for 5 days. I have no idea how they're going to do it. But you know what? Every single spot got filled today. We've been working on a Google Drive spreadsheet, and I've just been seeing all these amazing, look at these instructors. Look, everyone, quick, if I focus in, you can really see it. But jump on, just type in Q Corner Convention. Also go to YouTube, Q Corner, and subscribe. Guys, it's crazy. So I'll be doing 2 classes. One is a chat with David and Stuart. The other will be just me talking about digital renders and for designing and quoting, and a couple of different free and readily available bits of software that I use all the time when customers are asking me questions. Oh, that's Facebook. That's really cool. I think, jump on with social media, just chat to your friends on Facebook, see what everyone's doing. I think this is a time where the community, and isn't it bloody amazing that we've got this free convention out there for thousands of people? Can you imagine any other industry doing that? Like
I thought that was pretty awesome, and I thought the timing of you saying that out there, you're like, hey, let's do this, and then they were like, oh, you just beat us to the punch. That was pretty awesome.
I know. Literally, when Susan sent the email out to the instructors, she's like, and thanks to Chris Adamo for ruining this. I'm like, crap. I just woke up and I had an idea. I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's very typical of me to put my foot in it. So, but it's a sweet idea that they've been working on it for days up until that point, just getting some concepts and some tech behind. But man, really, really excited about that. And there'll be lots of little extra things. So my sort of advice right now for people with this time. So I've been in the industry for 20 years, and half of me wants to just say, you know what, I'm off the treadmill, the 50, 60, 70-hour weeks. And today I went for a bike ride, did some gardening, did some work as well. But at the same time, my kids are home. We're all in, quarantine, essentially, in isolation. It's just a wonderful time to just slow down and get healthy again and all of that. But I wrote a post saying, okay, so when you're done with and sick of your kids or your partner, then this is the time to work on that. So I would suggest people start looking at obviously social media, all that kind of stuff. You can actually schedule posts in advance. You can schedule emails in advance. You can have your Christmas newsletter ready to go like now. Great time to look at all your photos that you've had in your phone and stored. Oh man, I was showing you guys a second ago. So we use Pinterest for all of our photos, and Pinterest, I don't think it's advantageous to necessarily generate any sales, but we use the board functionality quite well. Do you use Pinterest? Do you use it?
No? I saw that. I actually took a look at your site the other day, and I think that's definitely a nice vehicle.
Well, some of the pages actually direct feed from some of these boards, right? So the content, the photos that we put on Pinterest feed then into our website, balloons.net.au. But to me, it's just a wonderful tool for us internally. So I work remotely. I can access Pinterest anywhere. The team, we've got several computers in the shop. They can access all those photos anywhere. But then we can also send a link. So, we got our organic board, and, I can copy a photo directly from that, or actually even just copy the link. So, copy that, paste it in an email quote, and that way, or just the link of the image as well, copy image address. Yeah. So that can then be, populated from an email. Boom, it pops that up. So you don't have to flood a customer's inbox with 28 photos. So yeah, it's a great way of just sorting and for our internal purpose and also for quotes. So that's something that we do a lot with. I make sure at the same time I have photos backed up on the hard drive in the same folder structure, but that takes a bit more time. Literally Pinterest, I've been in a loading dock from a job and I uploaded it from my phone to the right board. Boom, while waiting for the lift, I got back to the shop and somebody had placed an order for that same very thing. I couldn't believe it.
It's nice.
So yeah.
Yeah,
it's really cool. So we use as well, just a little tip for everybody, if you have time, is look at Google Cloud. So Google Cloud technology, it is just amazing. So we have all of these different computers all around. I'll just jump in Google Drive. And customers can, my staff can sort of access any of the files, any of the structure, anywhere. I probably shouldn't click around here because it's probably something that people shouldn't see. But we have shared Excel spreadsheets of to-do lists and different categories. We can all add in and share those files. We have one Gmail account, right? All of our business email comes to the one Gmail account, and from that account we have different folders or labels, they're called, so we can have 5, 6, as many computers as you want logged into the one account working at the same time. You start a draft, you didn't finish it, you go home and finish it because on your phone or whatever it may be. I can pull up on my phone all of the correspondence, like super quick, Google search quick, anywhere I am, and it's completely free. So a couple of little things like that. I won't go into it too much, but I certainly think now is the time for you to start thinking about your systems, your business systems.
Yeah, Chris, it's interesting you talk about the Google. That's what we do. There's one email account, and then everybody else has access to that. We're looking at, actually, it came from Float when I was in Jonathan Gerber's class. He talked about Dropbox and Dropbox Paper, and actually I started implementing that. So all of my quotes for different themes, I just have a sheet that says like Roaring 20s or what was the other ones that we did, like the safari parties, and literally they would my team, they just go and send that URL to the customer. They have access to that. They see the pricing and it's like go, and then they say, okay, I want 6 of these, I want 8 of these, and that's how it's easy for my sales team to go ahead and market that piece. All this, they don't have to guess anymore. I think that was the biggest piece. But sometimes they would call me all the time. Well, Sal, what's this price? And well, they want this added to that organic. I said, all right, here's your range, here's your add-ons, here's the cost of the add-ons. And then now they just click on those buttons, or they'd say, oh, this customer wanted 3 of the 10 add-ons that we had, so this is the price for them.
Yeah. Cool. I think systemizing for staff, like creating like very well thought out systems, because when you go lots of different staff, you're going to work out if the system's flawed. Having a beautiful streamlined system actually helps me so much more than what it was, because my prices were just coming out everywhere, and it was embarrassing sometimes when a client would quote to do it again, and we're just sort of guessing,
No, I get it. No, I was there too. I did the same thing.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, hey, thanks. That was fun. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Sort of write some feedback. Let us know if you want to do this again. But man, I've really enjoyed chatting with you, and good luck. Stay strong over the next couple of weeks, months, years, whatever it's going to be. Yeah.
Everybody out there too. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm so looking forward to the convention, man. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be amazing. And yeah, like Chris said before, like take advantage. We have this time right now. Start thinking ahead. Don't think about what the worries. Right, the worries are going to be there. Be optimistic and be hopeful, and just hit the door. Hit the ground running when it comes to being ready to take your business to the next level. I think Chris gave you great examples, and hopefully you've learned something from me too.
Yeah, I love those 5 systems.
Too, right?
Yeah, cool. Ask some questions. Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. Sleep tight tonight, buddy. We'll catch up later.
Sounds good, buddy. Take care. Bye.
Bye.